What is going on, everyone? Badger here. Should have liked and sub, and let's get into this. Black Myth Wukong is what we're all talking about for a couple of different reasons. One, it flew against the grain, and if you believe it or not, it rejected Sweet Baby Inc. or a consultancy company like that, and their offer or threat to pay them $7 million for a read, or if not, they would undergo a hit campaign, which is exactly what we heard of Kim Belair. If people deny, take your marketing team out and basically show them the PR nightmare that might unfold, which is what we did see. And then people just were like, "Oh no, yeah, game science said some things, but when correctly translated, it's not that bad." And then what really goes on is the game good? Right? It's rejected all the things we say to reject, but then is the game good and fun? And it is, and that's led to an even further meltdown. And one of those people, an IGN writer who coincidentally was part of that smear campaign, or at least the articles that came out of nowhere deriding the developers, which also led to a lot of people believing that and then melting down in their own forms when this game started popping off. But one of those writers, of course, who smeared game science as sexist, called for gamers to boycott Black Myth Wukong ahead of the release. That didn't work. Interestingly, of course, this is someone who has been outed as hating white people. So shout out to Smash JT for, I guess, first reporting this. Ki Hun Chan, who co-wrote an article with Rebecca Valentine on IGN accusing game science of being sexist based on crude recruitment posters, which we then found out was from one person who, even being crude and translated slightly sloppily, was also just one person who was then chastised for it. The company used back in 2015, as well as social media posts that have been heavily disputed and criticized for using uncharitable translations, called for gamers to boycott. And of course, this is where you find out what type of people these people are. Of course, Free Palestine. I'm so fucking pissed off. This has gone too far. Don't play Black Myth Wukong. If you must, go and pirate it. Oh, she's stealing. Okay. If you enjoy it, I do not want to know it. Fuck game science and all the grifters who are doing this to one of my favorite people in the industry. And I'm going to assume they're talking about one of these nutters that also tried to attack and make a big thing out of nothing. And then when you go back into their past, and yes, obligatory, we can guess what sexuality this person is in the Free Palestine. They would free her right off the rooftop. White gamers have zero nuance, zero understanding of the world, and it'll forever be like this because the world bends over to meet their expectations. Now, we do the classic thing of imagine if she said black gamers have zero nuance and zero understanding of the world. Well, there you go. Stop Asian hate. And if they're upset, they just scream at their targets until everything works miraculously in their favor. Is that not the tactic they do, where they scream and and complain and tell you to fucking pirate and or don't play the game? Seems more their tactic. And here we go, her answer. Oh, well, here we go. I love when they outright say it. Do I hate white people? Yes. And if you're a friend, you'll understand why this is never personal. I hate white privilege so much. Their ability to scream reverse racism when faced with a tiny bit of criticism. The world revolves around them, even in Singapore every day. Jealous bitch. I don't know. I've never been to Singapore. I don't know if it revolves around white people there. That would be interesting. And also, I guess they were part of an article published by First Person Scholar titled Decolonizing Queer Games and Play. Oh, Jesus. Chan wrote, filtering games through the language of queer design may be a powerful and crucial step towards embracing diversity. But what is usually lacking in these discussions is intersectionality. Oh, fuck. Despite the growing prevalence of queer narratives in games, the bulk of these stories are still based around casts of queer white characters. Yeah, so she's jealous and salty. And why is she jealous and salty? Because you don't need all that. You can just have a Monkey King, and you have over 2 million people, 2.4 million all time playing it, 2.2 in the last 24 hours, and 880,000 at the time of this article. It's still seeing over 1 million on days, especially on weekends, which this is. So if you were to check right now, it would be higher than that. Or depending on when you watch it. The point is that's what the meltdown is that it's doing well. And you can see that's just on Steam. Over 10 million units when you all the players, and 3 million concurrent players across all platforms. So you have to thank them for those numbers. And yeah, It didn't work. Their little calls for boycotting didn't work. Their smear campaigns against the devs disappeared. Their smear campaigns against the devs didn't work. And so because it didn't work, they're now doing what she thinks white people do. And they're just screaming and screaming and screaming and hope that it gets fixed, but it won't, because there's nothing to be fixed, because what's happening in the grander scheme is what's happening here in this, and it's that your ideology is failing and the normal tools and tactics you use to push them are not there anymore. You're not getting the results, and so now you do what you think we do, and you just scream and you cry, and well, go ahead. Scream and shout and let it all out. Let me know what you think of this. Make sure to like, share, and sub. If you have done that, thank you. If you're going to do that, thank you.
Well, bye.